What's up, folks? Welcome to Mindset Tabletop. I'm Matt McCann, and this is part 3 of The Mindset, my collection. So I'm going to move down here to the third shelf, and I'm going to start again on the right because this is the rest of the intro games, the welcoming games. So up top, I got a little roll and write, silver and gold. Pretty simple, basic roll and write game, or it's like a flip and write, I guess. You know, you're just kind of matching patterns and stuff like that and filling things in on your sheet. It's pretty simple, pretty fun. Book It. This is a really cool game where you are booking wrestling shows. You're basically, you're recruiting a bunch of different wrestlers and you're putting them together in matches and trying to basically concoct matches that are going to pop off, that the crowd is going to like. Certain wrestlers work really well together, and they do that through a symbol system. And, you know, you're just trying to book the best matches. It's really funny because the wrestlers are all kind of based on real wrestlers, but, you know, renamed and kind of slightly rethemed. And it's interesting what they did with it. Book It's a really fun game. Check it out. Okay, this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is a divisive game. A lot of people do not like this one, but I really do, and I think it works well with new players as well. This is a cooperative game where demons and vampires are breaking out all over Sunnydale, and you are moving different members of the Buffy crew around different places to take those demons and vampires out, collect certain items, and then you're using those, putting those items together to pitch yourself against these mini bosses. There's like 3 mini bosses or monsters of the week. And you're going to use these collections to get a chance to take them out. Then you flip a card to see if you won or not. It's usually like 2/3 chance that you're going to win. And then once you take out all the monsters of the week, then you face the big bad. And that's kind of like facing basically another 3 monsters of the week all in one. And then when you take them out, you win. If you don't, if the city gets overrun, you lose. That's a cooperative game, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's really cool if you like the series and you can imagine the characters in those situations. Okay, Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle. This is an awesome beginner deck building game. Now, the cool thing about this is it goes in basically 7 steps. You're opening up boxes as you go along. When you win, you open up the next box and it adds more cards, or maybe, you know, a new mechanism, or maybe a new component. And it gets heavier and heavier and harder as you go along. And that's the one issue with the game is once you've opened up the 7th box, it's pretty dang hard to win. The bosses are really brutal, and it's a tough co-op experience, but it's a good way to learn deck building step by step. You know, you got your opening deck of like 10 cards. You got your 5 cards that you draw, and then you're buying more cards to make your deck more powerful. And you're collectively trying to take out, you know, whatever, you know, again, a big bad situation. But yeah, it gets harder and harder as it goes along, but it also kind of introduces you step by step to deck building. Then the Networks. The Networks is a really cool game where it's kind of similar to Book It in that you're running a television station. You've got 3 different time slots, the 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and 10 p.m., I guess. And you're slotting different shows into those slots to get ratings. The ratings are kind of like your points. And then you're attaching ads to pay for the shows and to pay for stars, which you can also attach to those shows to get better ratings out of them. So you're putting out different shows into different time slots, leveling them up using ads and stars, and trying to get the most ratings out of everyone. It's really interesting how I found this game too, because I had seen a video on it, but it was kind of nowhere. And when I was looking around Barnes & Noble for a different game, I went to a clearance table upstairs, and underneath the clearance table were a bunch of stacked up games, and this was in the pile under the table. So I'm really glad I found it. I found it just like on a lark, and ends up being one of my favorite games. It's really cool. Okay, so up top here is the Gorilla expansion for Book It. That's like more wrestlers and a little more stuff, a little more content for the game. Definitely, not very expensive. Definitely worth it. Gingerbread House by Phil Walker Harding. This is a game where you're kind of like laying tiles and placing stuff on top of other things, and then getting resources based on what's still showing on the board. So you're not covering everything. There's a specific way that you have to cover things. You can't have anything hanging out over an edge, and you're just building up and up, getting different resources to build a tableau, I believe. Didn't really hit with me. I got to give this one another shot. But yeah, it was okay from what I remember. That's another one that's kind of shelf of shame at this point. Okay, so moving over. Distilled. I got this on Kickstarter or GameFound. I forget which one it was, but this is an awesome game. I really like this. My best friend likes this. This is a game where you are bringing a distillery back to its glory days. So your family has a distillery that's kind of fallen under hard times, and you're trying to regrow it. And you're doing this. So this is a little bit kind of multiplayer solitaire. There's not a ton of interaction in this game, but it is very fun because you are upgrading your distillery with different like people that you can hire and different technologies that you can develop and different tools that you can use. And then you are taking ingredients that you buy, throwing them into your distiller, and literally mixing it. So you take all these ingredients that are on cards, and then when you distill, you take those cards, you shuffle them up. You take off the top card, which is the angel share. You take off the bottom card, which is the dregs, and then you get rid of those. They go back into your supply so you can't use them. Whatever's left over is the liquor that you have made. You can make whiskeys, you can make gin, you can make all kinds of things. But when you really don't have the ingredients that you've been looking for, you can also just make some moonshine and get through the week. It's a really, really good game, and I really like how thematic that is, where you're actually taking the ingredients and mixing them up, and taking the angel share and taking the dregs from the top and the bottom and making your liquor. It's really good. It's a fairly heavy game. It's kind of a heavy teach, but very, very well worth it, and awesome, classy game. I really, really like this game. Okay, down below, Pandemic. Now, remember how I mentioned that Terraforming Mars had introduced me into modern gaming. That's not really true. It's really more Pandemic. I played this probably around 2003, 2004 when it came out, and this blew my mind. I couldn't believe how good the game was. I couldn't believe like the basically the mechanism of the diseases spreading from city to city. I had just never seen anything like that before. Loved it. I still love it. I still kind of marvel at how cool that is. Basically how it works is you get 3 cubes onto a city, which are the disease, breaking out. And then if you get one more, you have an outbreak instead, and you put 1 cube on every surrounding city. So it literally starts to spread out. And you only get a few of those before you're taken out and you lose. There are many ways to lose this game, only one way to win, and that's to collect at least, I believe, 5 cards of each color, of each disease, go to a research station and cure that disease. You have to cure all 4 diseases and then you win. So Pandemic is amazing. This is a great introductory game. Hasn't really worked that well introducing new players in my world, but I know it has for tons of other people. So this is definitely a great intro game. The Loop. Oh, I forgot to mention what this section is. So this section is kind of like Distilled plus crisis management games. So Pandemic is a crisis management game, and The Loop is as well. You've got this loop of time that you're moving around. Everybody has a different special ability, and you are trying to keep Dr. Foe from destroying existence. Basically, he's creating these rifts as he goes through to create more of himself, more copies of himself in different eras of time. And the more that happens, the more stuff gets crazy, the more rifts there are. And if you get too many rifts, space and time are destroyed altogether. So you have to stop basically the ultimate madman here. You're cooperating, moving from era to era and clearing things out and adding stuff. And what you can do, the cool thing about this game is you can actually loop time. So you're using these green cubes that you develop to do a loop, meaning you get another turn. You can untap your cards, all the cards with the same symbol on them, then untap and you can use them again. So you're looping time, going back in time and using your stuff again. It's really tough, but very, very fun. And you get some really cool, powerful turns and awesome combos. So definitely check out the loop. I just don't think that this game has popped off at the level that it should have. This should be more popular than it is, and it is a great game. So check it out. It's super hard, but super fun, the loop. Dead of Winter. This is a game that, this is another possible cull for me, unfortunately. It just didn't work the way I thought it was going to work. It wasn't as fast-paced and exciting as I wanted. I went into this wanting a zombie game. I basically went into this wanting Zombicide. And you get something very, very different, which is a very simple kind of worker placement crisis management game where you've got zombies kind of breaking into your base all over the place. And you've got to go take care of them and at the same time collect certain items. And everybody's trying to pool items together to survive. But there's also a hidden trader mechanism in this game, which it's hard enough. It didn't need a hidden trader, but it has one. So that's Dead of Winter. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. There's actually another version out there of this game. If it does interest you, there's a better version called Dead of Winter: The Long Night. So I would definitely suggest you get that version instead because it has these cool like explosive things in it and stuff and a better way of dealing with the zombies. So that's Dead of Winter, and that is the crisis management games. So I'm going to try to keep these videos a little shorter, and I'm going to stop there for now. Folks, if you liked what you saw here, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And join the conversation. Leave a comment down below. Have you played these games? Do you like these games? Are any of these games you hate? What do you think about culling Dead of Winter? Any other crisis management games or intro games that you, welcoming games that you think I should add to my collection? Because I've already gone through all my welcoming games for sure. So not really, but that's what's in the section. So do you think I should add any more? And what else do you think? What are you playing right now? Hit me up down below, folks. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to you later.